Death Watch.
Welcome back to the Cradle of the World, a D&D 3.5 campaign by Death Watch Productions. I am Brandon, the Dungeon Master, and we pick up here where we left off last session, where the heroes had come out of their home in the morning to a loud crashing sound and found odd construct-like entities in their yard, blasting them with lasers and punching wildly. And then quickly following, some smaller ones along with some goblins wielding, throwing thunderstones and tanglefoot bags had appeared as well. And of course, the whole while, the automaton had been proclaiming that the lands were now under the rulership of Emperor Dragon LeBlanc, and that everyone had to submit or be destroyed. So our heroes defeated those enemies, and then they looked to the sky and saw a flying ship on the coastline. And this particular ship had a massive balloon suspended from it with cables and some propellers and some metal tubes protruding from the side of it. And so that's where we'll pick back up now. But first, we'll introduce our players, starting with Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm playing Casimir, hero of the Rock, and I'm prepared to fight a bunch of ghosts. Unfortunately, I'll be fighting a bunch of humans.
I'm Travis. I'm playing Graham, the hero of the sea, and I'm prepared to become a loyal citizen of this new empire.
I'm Justin. I'm playing Rohan, hero of the sky, and I'm looking forward to killing these guys.
I'm John playing Fenrith, and as soon as we defeat this emperor, I am going to become the new emperor.
You gotta change your name, though.
I will, as I'll become the new Emperor LeBlanc.
Okay.
As all good emperors should be.
Oh, man.
All right, so you guys are standing out in your yard, outside your home. The gate at the wall had been busted down by these things, and so your gate had been busted down, and then you saw this ship flying through the air up there. So that's where we'll pick it up, and this, as you get more time to look at this ship, you'd say it's probably 40 feet long. I can't remember what I said last. I think I had said something like 60, but this is actually 40 feet long from, front to back, and probably 20 feet wide. And that balloon thing that is suspended from it is actually larger by, space. And it is about 30 feet from the deck. Now, as you guys are watching, there was some propellers, odd-looking propellers on the front and back that are spinning, and it is heading in a easterly direction along the coast. So you're looking at the port side of it, and it moves very slow. I mean, that's one thing you notice right away. It's moving very slow, but also, now that you've had more time to look, you can see that it's listing. It seems to be heavily slanted towards its port side. So the starboard side is up higher in the air, and there's some smoke coming from that side of it. But you can't see where it's coming from, but there is some smoke coming from it. And on the parts of it you can see there are clear signs of damage along the hull of this. And at this distance, you can see some figures running around up on the deck.
About how far out is it?
Well, it's probably about, it seems to be hugging the coastline, so maybe a quarter mile away.
Fly up there, Rohan.
Yeah, it's not that big of a ship. I think our rocks could take off anything on the deck.
Well, your rocks are 30 feet from beak to tail.
Yeah.
So it's not much bigger long ways than your rocks.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to fly up and board it.
Yeah.
Like
I was
jump
just
off a rock.
going to shoot a fireball at the balloon.
That works.
Well, I can say that looking at it at its size, boarding it with your rock is like trying to fly through the
Right,
trees
yeah.
because there's
I was
cables.
wondering how I'd
and-
get
yeah.
myself off the rock
Oh,
onto the
you'd have to be doing some.
jumping off of
Well,
it.
you have hover
in-
now.
Yeah, we could hover over it, but even
Yeah, you'd still be jumping off of that onto the balloon.
and a ship that
Jackie
doesn't
Chan
look
stuff.
like it's still doing
Yeah.
or it's not doing too well.
I was gonna say is we should get the rocks and head up there, and bring down the airship, or commandeer it.
Yeah, that's what I kind of hoped for.
Like part of the problem is, like getting onto the ship. Like I could like jump off if we're all close enough together. I could feather fall those of us who don't have it. If we were prepared to go after ghosts, but we also theorized that the ethereal plane might not be safe. Windwalk would work, unless there's a high wind, right?
Yeah.
Now the enemies that attacked our home, they came from the direction of the town, right?
Mm.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Sort of,
because that's
but-
where the gate is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Um,
So here, I'll give you a better answer. Where they more likely came from the beach.
okay.
It's just that the way they had to go to get to the gate makes it so that they could have come from either. But in your estimation, considering where the airship is, it's more likely they came from the beach.
We could also just go approach them, put all of our weapons into the bag of holding, and then pull them all out when it comes time if negotiations fall through.
I'd rather go fully armed and see if they negotiate.
At knife or at spear
the
point.
most polite.
Well, I don't mean go with bow drawn and sword out, but
One hand with a arrow cocked back, another
Yeah.
with another bow in the other
They're
hand.
just fully drawn and pointed at him, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
For the best
Go
diplomacy.
dual wielding bows.
While you are discussing this, you hear a loud, obnoxious horn
Is that
coming
Mudsway?
from the east. No, it's coming.
That's a signature call.
The penalty.
Well,
for,
I do need to go get my armor on. So, because either way, we just ran out of here after
Yeah.
sleeping. So let me at least go prepare for whatever we're gonna do. And
We should probably
if no
send
action is
Mudsway-
decided by the time I get back, then we will attack the airship.
default lawful good.
Yep.
And we should probably send Mudsway or someone to go warn the town, let them know
It's probably a good
potential
idea.
enemies are on the way.
That's
I
kind
think
of
they can probably
obvious.
see it.
Why don't you
Well,
go get up in
they haven't
your
been-
in your light tower? Don't you have
You mean
a
just-
warning system there?
No, that's up on the mountains.
That should have been their entry, was them destroying the rest of the light tower.
That would have been
Rohan
immediately
would have
proc the
been
vindictive trait.
devastated.
That's like me shooting that one guy's toaster in the Stuffer Shack Shadowrun short film. just because.
But your normal style doesn't leave any room to go harder. It's not like you can shoot firster.
No.
Rohan might be able to.
Right.
Well, yeah. That and I can continue on with cruelty and malicious
All right.
destruction.
They've taken everything from me.
Have the rocks saddled. I'm going to follow Fenrith in and get armored.
I'll
I
head
believe
to the-
Graham, you probably have like a morning ritual to get to.
But 10
Do you
minutes
still
would
do
cut
that
it.
now?
Oh, well, I'm kind of doing it, but like,
He's
those
been
moments where
brushing
you're
his
going
teeth
through your
the whole
routine
time.
and it seems pointless when you're doing it. It's like, why do I bother?
Well, you
Yeah.
have
I think
more...
they call it depression.
You became wiser and now you're
Yes.
depressed.
I didn't realize what my low wisdom was shielding me from the horrible truth.
I was going to say, he became more wise. He didn't lose his OCD.
But I think I was in the midst of it when this occurred.
Yeah, so I think that's a pretty good plan, though. This is all on the way in to back to the house. As I'll call for Mudsway to warn the villagers that we are under attack.
Okay. Yeah, so he takes off right away at a sprint and disappears through the gate and around the corner.
Life would be so much easier without the villagers. Just saying.
I've been saying that for years.
As I'll start the slow 10-minute process of getting armor on.
It's also impossible to not be a hero if you don't have to, like, you can't disappoint them, right? On a heroic level, if they're all dead.
The great thing about being a hero is you only get to disappoint them once.
We're the hero of Cradle, not of the villagers of Cradle.
Yeah.
Well, we have an opportunity to get in the good graces of our new masters if we kill the villagers now.
I think this is just Bloodtooth talking. I think he wants to get close to the Emperor so he can try to become the new LeBlanc. He's going to beat you
That's
to
the new
it.
campaign. We're all going to figure out how we're going to be the
By
new
the
emperor.
time I come out from putting my armor on, he'll have had more than enough opportunity to go and kill LeBlanc and become the new one.
But he's got to start by killing off all the other people who want to become LeBlanc too. So you got to be careful. Get that armor on quick, John.
So I'll start with the chest and the headpiece.
Why does it take so long? It's like waiting for your girlfriend.
I saw a video that's pretty accurate for donning it yourself.
And I can't
even that
trust
guy had
you
to have
to
help.
help me now, Graham.
Yeah.
Why not?
An unshielded
Because
back.
you want to be you want to be the new
The new
Emperor
emperor.
LeBlanc too.
All right, so Casimir and Fenrith are going to get their armor on.
Mm-hmm.
Rowan, what are you doing?
I'm saddling the rocks.
And Graham?
Finishing up grabbing my bag and everything like that. So, because I think I ran out here in the middle of brushing my teeth or something.
Imagine the arterial spray on a rock. It'd flood the village.
Even his rock will start side-eyeing him now, like as he's starting to climb up.
His rock will probably start side-eyeing the other rocks and decide which one it needs to kill first to become the new
If I remember
Emperor LeBlanc.
correctly, I think I spent some time imagining that when we first got on them.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, I think Bloodtooth was like pointing it out, or maybe we were joking about it then. I'm not sure.
Like all good jokes, it must be
Right.
repeated till it's no longer a joke.
Yeah, so I'm just grabbing my gear, Brandon,
Okay.
and then I'm going to run out and look at. Oh, never mind. I thought I had a seeing glass. I just went all the way back to Rafe.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I thought you did. It's
Did
Rafe
you
that
lose
does.
it?
No, it's Rafe. His Wheel of Time character that has it.
Oh, well, magically.
They're kind of the same, especially now that his wisdom's up.
Right. What was Rafe's dump stat? Oh, Constitution. That's right.
Just like Graham.
Well, I had to have 2 dump stats for this character.
It's because you were deciding to play on hard mode.
I know. What do we get? 6 from our amulets?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that was a 9 originally.
I would imagine either we've got one somewhere in here or one of the villagers maybe has one. Seeing as how
Do we have a seeing glass?
Yeah. You have one in the home.
Yeah, I'll grab it and bring it out and start looking.
I'm going
At
to
the
stab
ship.
him. I'm going to stab him.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Rohan.
Just watching me put the saddle on and looking over my shoulder at him.
Watching Fenrith get armored. I'm going to stab him real good.
If it were old Graham, it just would have had it backwards, so you just would have seen that big eye at the end of it, like in the cartoons.
Now I imagine him like standing up on the one of the roofs of the hero house, just looking in through our windows with this spy glass.
Yeah, just hanging on.
When you
So does
turn
that bring,
around, he's always facing Rohan. That way he's not looking in through the window.
He's like bad guys on the lower quality versions of Doom. He's because you can't be flanked, so you're always facing us. How does that work?
That's pretty frightening to visualize.
Rohan climbs up in a tree to look at the land, and I'm like,
Because I don't imagine it as any type of blur effect, as I imagine like he's got one eye going through the glass, and then his head just splits, and this other creature turns around with one eye on you now.
so Game Master Brandon, do I get any more details?
All right, so you're just looking at the ship, the airship?
Yeah, seeing if I can get a look at who's on board or see any shapes.
All right.
See if they're like in more distress than being damaged. If they're like, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't be able to tell.
Well, right. You do see that whatever's going on up there, there is a flurry of activity. I mean, there's people running to and fro, grabbing things and pulling on things, and they've got like those cables seem to be adjustable, so they're moving those. And there's one person in particular walking around that's clearly in charge, shouting orders at people.
Gotta stab that guy. Do you hold out your knife like was it Prince of Thieves? Right there.
So they're being real busy. Man, maybe we just ought to get up on the birds to make sure they don't crash into the village.
Well, they're following the coastline, right?
So
Yeah,
far.
well, that's like the direction that they're faced there. They'd like be going east along the coastline, but they're moving almost not at all at this point.
We could
As a matter of fact, like based on where they are, they're actually right above the beach, the docks where everybody takes their fishing boats out. So
might want to
I look out.
wing over and evacuate the dogs if they haven't
Yeah.
already. They are villagers.
They all gathered out there. What do
Yeah.
you expect that is up in the sky?
It looks like it's falling.
Sure is big.
Getting bigger by the second.
but as you're looking through this glass at that, you do start hearing that horn again. It sounds like it's getting a little bit closer, but you can't see its source because you're inside a wall. But it's not coming from that ship. It's coming from somewhere closer.
Well, maybe I'll get in a lookout somewhere if we got a higher place I can
That
see
tower,
over the wall.
the lighthouse.
Yeah. Well, I know it wasn't the top destroyed,
I thought
Yeah, they were.
but it
working
would
on,
probably still be higher than the wall.
They were working on fixing it, but also like there's no wall along the southern cliff that your house is right up against, and if you move over that direction, you could see.
Yeah. I was thinking in the direction of this noise that's separate from the airship, this annoying horn.
But yeah, I mean, you could easily find a place where you've got a view of that direction, and that's like second here.
You are on top of the roof already staring at Fenrith, so you'd probably get a good vantage point from there.
I knew it. He is applying makeup.
Yeah. So over, where there is no wall, you can look down and you can see the beach, and you can see a good portion of the path from the beach that travels, to the bottom of these hills before the path to the village. And that's where, like, at that section of ground that's no longer, beach, it's no longer sand, it's, reached the hard ground that would eventually lead to the path up to the village, or what used to be the farmlands and is now a giant forest. You can see a group of figures all dressed in this same, sharp red uniforms, holding up a white flag, and one of them's blaring on this horn constantly. And they've got a couple of what looks to you from this distance the same constructs that you fought. The first big one looks like there's two of those
But they're
with
flying
this
out.
group, and some of them, based on their size, are clearly goblins, but they're all wearing those. But yeah, they are walking with a white flag.
And we're not so ignorant that we don't know that means.
Right. That's pretty universal.
We don't have to accept it.
I know, but I'm going to tell you about it just to clear my conscience.
You don't have a conscience.
I
does.
do.
It's called Bloodtooth.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll run back and tell everybody who's around what I saw.
So this is a second group?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and then before you do that, do a spot check for me.
Does the looking glass give you any bonuses? Or is it just remove penalties?
I can't remember how it worked in the Wheel of Time.
All right, so as you're watching that group and they're moving up along the path, you scan over a bit towards the beach and you can see there's a group of small, like rowboat-sized craft sitting on the beach, not near the water. And these, they look like any rowboat except for they've got what looks like small sails jutting out to either side of it, almost like wings, but they're clearly sails. And they're like hovering.
Oh, off the
Like
land a little bit?
Just barely off the ground.
Hover ships.
And that's where you can see through your spyglass their tracks come from those boats.
Okay, well, I'll imagine it's natural to scan from where they parked on the beach there out over the water to see if there's any more of those ships or different ones out over the ocean.
Yeah, and you don't see any.
Okay.
Just that one.
Well, I will let them know there's a group, waving a white flag, mixed, just like the ones we fought with the, what do you call them? Who am I talking to? Rowan?
He's saddling the rock,
I'm
so
saddling
yeah,
the
probably.
Yeah. What are they? Golems? Or like golems?
They seem similar, although it's not of a metal I'm used to. I can't imagine the resources it would take to create entire golems of adamantine.
Well, I guess they want to talk now.
Well, they sure showed a funny way of starting the conversation by attacking us.
It was probably
cock
fear
my
of
head
our
at Rohan.
strength that makes them want to negotiate.
I don't know if I'm up for negotiating after they've attacked us already.
Well, yeah, obviously we're not going to negotiate. Although, they could be other people. Maybe this is a group that opposes LeBlanc.
I think I described
Only
the same
one way
type
to
of
find
uniform. That was a detail I got, that they were dressed sharply in this
Oh.
the same uniform that we've encountered.
I mean, we
Yeah.
can always kill
In that
them right
case.
after we talk to them. And they are waving a white flag. I guess we should at least hold to the terms of a parley.
Well, my arrows aren't quite as effective against these things as normal. How about I ride Tempest while one or two of you head down, and if negotiations break down, you send a signal and I'll bring the rocks down on them.
It's called Fireball.
Sounds good. Graham, would you like to join me, or are you looking forward to facing those things again?
Well, maybe you should take Casimir up in the air.
Well, we need someone to...
I work
To
better
signal.
up close.
Will you have your rod of fireball ready so that if things break down, you can signal us?
Yes.
I got it right here. Wait, that looks like...
I'll have to shoot a magic missile at you, though.
No, just...
I was joking
Attack
that you
once.
stole my,
Rod?
my rod of Fireball.
No, I do have access to fireballs, I guess, but they're precious to me.
Are they like potatoes?
So,
Well,
who
cause
was
things
going
to
to go
boil.
parlay? You want me to go parlay?
Well,
Or
obviously.
Definitely not me.
Okay.
And I'll back you up, Fenrith.
Yes. As I
You
want
can count
Graham
on
as
me.
my second.
All right. I'll
You hear what he
hop
just
on
said?
Tempest.
Tell Graham once we get on board, you know what to do.
Yeah, I'll go climb
That's the
on the
only
ribbon.
information that I'll give him too.
Do you give a wink or anything else?
Nope. I just like a nod. Be like, you know what? When we get on board, Graham, you know what to do. And a nod. And in my mind, I mean, like, keep an eye out if anything starts getting crazy, start stabbing people. And in his mind, I'm hoping he thinks I mean just start murdering people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I do. Is I just run the finger underneath my throat and nod.
No, you just like Joe Pesci. Yeah, I got you. I know what you're talking about. Get in there with the ice pick.
All right. So just who's going to parley then? Just
me and Graham.
Okay. And Casimir and Roland up in the air?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Should we do a loop around, check the village from the air?
Sounds good. Yeah. Once we're up high enough, we could also circle a little bit farther out, see if there are any other ships coming.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that one fruit fly that is just annoying. It's taunting us now.
All right, Graham. So you and Fenrith, you judging by their pace, which is not hurried, you quickly deduce where the best place is to intercept them, and that would be right at the edge where that the point at which they would have to then turn onto the path up to the village or go into what used to be the farmland. And, based on their speed, it's pretty easy for you to intercept them there. And then, so you guys are all kitted out, right?
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second here.
Does this mean I get to put cannons on Riven if we take this ship?
I think it does.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
What I really want is I want a bunch of like rods of disintegrate that all key off at once, so it looks like a light show. I've wanted that since we tried to make that Colossus in one of Brandon's older games.
It's like what is that attack? I think it's like the C-130s that do it, but it's like the Angel of Death, they call it.
Mm.
But you just see it. It's like fans out behind them. All these disintegration rays.
I love the smell of disintegrated in the morning. Smells like victory. We probably would be the commander that wants to go surfing. We are like island folk. We probably have some sort of sport or fun activity that's like that. Oh no, the disintegration beams are wrecking these waves. And we all know Rohan would be the one flying over human citizens, just shooting them with bows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, get it. Fenrith gets to ask him, how can you just shoot women and children? And he goes, I don't lead them as much.
Yeah, they don't move as fast.
Oh man, such a good line.
All right. So let me put you on here real quick. We'll give
My dice are the wrong color.
Graham and Fenrith here. See, divine power and righteous might are gone.
Turned off my haste.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot I was damaged. Can I have healed myself in that time, Brandon?
Yeah.
I might need a bip from that thing too if you feel
Sure.
up for it.
That was almost perfect, Graham.
Got almost what I needed. Looks like you need 2, probably.
Okay.
Go for another one? Might as well. Oh, and it overshoots every time.
Minus 15 dragon points.
No.
Overhealing is not allowed.
Takes me down to 31 charges left.
You were so close. Now it's all back.
Them having goblins in their army is really trying to trigger my favorite enemy.
What is it, orcs or?
Humanoid goblin.
Okay, yeah. One of the good reasons to play an elf is that you can also take human as favored, which is something that was a bit more important when we had more humans around in like other campaigns, but
yeah,
always made me mad that you had to be evil to take your own race.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Like, there are humans out there that specialize in killing other humans all day. I guess they probably are a bit on the evil side most of the time.
Well, in D&D, they probably would have warred with each other more than the other ones,
Yeah,
right?
because you're coming in contact more with your own
consolidating power and what have you.
Okay. So you guys, you get there a little ahead of them, and they, when they get close enough, about 50 feet away from you, the whole group stops, and I'll describe them to you here in a second. So you have, I'll share this map here. Let's see. So Fenrith and Graham, there's the map. You see?
I do.
All right, so you have these two one on each end, these two giant automaton creatures, and then you've got 5 goblins in a line along the back, and these ones, these are like those other ones you saw, similar to goblins, but that they're dressed sharply and polished boots and whatnot. These ones these particular ones are carrying these long, they look like staffs. It's like metal and wood staffs with an odd shape on one end of it. And then on the business, what you can gather is the business end of it. There's a what looks like a knife or a dagger attached to the end of it, so that it could be used to stab with. And then in front of them, who you have 2 humans, and the first one that you can see is carrying the same sort of weapon those goblins are. He's obviously bigger, and so is that weapon, but he's dressed the same. He's got that red, he's dressed differently. He doesn't have that red coat. He's dressed much more like you would expect you, or especially Roland, to dress. He's got, the earth colors with his armor, and much more nondescript. And then the one who is clearly the leader of this group, the human in front there. Oh, and that other human is holding up that white flag. That one who's clearly the leader, he is dressed differently as well. He's holding a wooden staff that has some runes and sigils carved into it, and he's dressed in dark, rich robes and vest and cloak that clearly it would cost a lot of money. They're very well made, and the only thing, and he's human. The only thing that really catches your attention about him besides that is that he's got a black metal collar clasped about his throat, and it also has sigils and little insignias carved into it as well, and angry black lines sort of emanate from it along just under his skin, up his neck and along his face, and they follow odd meandering patterns. It's clearly not healthy, whatever it is. It looks bad, but and so it kind of makes his face constantly seem to change, based on the profile and shadows, but these things are constantly racing around his head. And he holds up his hand, and they all stop, and then he continues on alone towards you. And as he gets closer, you can see, do a spot, both of you. All right, Graham. As he gets closer, you're watching him closely, and you happen to see, just by the way he turns his head, that collar has spikes coming from it, but on the inside, and they're like piercing his flesh on the inside of that collar. But he approaches you, and he's got his staff in hand, and he has a regal, almost arrogant, well, definitely arrogant bearing, and he stands straight, and he throws back the hood of his cloak, and he looks at both of you, and he's got an odd look on his face. It's hard to tell if it's contempt or terror, and there's undertones of pain as well. But he says to you that these lands and all those who reside here are now under the rulership of Emperor Dragon LeBlanc, as they always have been. You are ordered to submit immediately to his rule, and none will be harmed. Quality of your life will increase far greater than you could ever imagine. Now, from whom will I be accepting the surrender of the peoples of these lands?
Might as well just send up the signal, Fenrith.
All right. Then we'll shoot on over to Casimir and Rohan. You guys take flight.
Good deal, guys.
You guys take flight on your rocks, and where did you want to go? Did you want to keep any particular distance from the ship, or where do you want to go?
I was just going to basically follow Rohan's lead. I'll have my wand of fireball ready just in case, and then I think we were going to circle over the village and make sure that there were no immediate threats inside the village.
Yeah, although that would probably be as they were walking out to go to wherever the meeting place was, and so
it doesn't matter. We're on rocks; they're flying super fast. We can circle it.
Yeah, once they actually get to the meeting, we could probably be pretty close, so that as soon as the sign was given, we could attack.
All right.
But then we're heading towards the ship itself, right? So
A little bit, yeah.
So I'm following your lead. How close you want to get to this thing? Shouting distance?
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing your charisma rolls.
Why do I need charisma rolls?
Negotiation.
Oh, there's no negotiating. There's just killing.
Okay.
So you guys take to the air, and you make your wide circles, check on the village, and do some spot checks there.
I guess we only need to get within your range increments then.
Are we not planning on using the rocks flyby or snatch attacks?
Here, let me put them on there.
Oh.
I guess that's a good point. It's just that, like, usually, like, you can't, like, target with, whereas I can target with a fireball, which is why I was going to hang back.
Yeah, well, we could hit them as we're heading in.
Okay.
And as we circle around for our next pass.
Yes, we got flyby.
Yeah.
Hopefully those
Wing over.
explosions go off as soon as he finishes saying what he's saying, and we'll just be like,
All right. Yeah. Fenris just steps back and flips him off, and
That said, I have always wanted a character to ride a atomic bomb down to
like from it being dropped out of a plane.
yeah. Dr. Love or Strange Love.
All right. Do you guys see your rocks now? Do you have
yes.
command of them now?
Don't know. I see them on the combat tracker. I don't see. Is there a map that we're supposed to be on?
I had a little thing pop up
Where?
like a little menu
Mm.
popped up with Tempest.
Maybe that's what happened.
All right,
I think I closed it immediately.
That's okay. I'll do it again. Let
I'm
me
sorry, man.
get you.
What is this?
Hey, it's from the old days when pop-ups
You
were
couldn't do anything?
run rampant.
Just muscle memory for pop-up whack-a-mole.
That.
Get that super clicky finger.
Let's see.
His mom's coming down the hallway.
Okay, now I'm talking as Casimir. I was wondering why I was talking as fake Rohan.
All right. So you should be able to see the map now.
Yeah, I can see it, and I can see and move Riven.
All right. And then here, let me do that again, Casimir, so you have control, that you can see.
Yeah. How do I attack with it?
Oh, I can target Tempest with as Riven. So, guessing that's how.
Okay.
Oh, I can bring it up myself. Okay, there we go. Put this here. So, do we? Now we don't recognize the cannons as cannons, but would we recognize them as a weapon?
Yeah, I'd say that you're smart enough to understand that that's probably what they're for.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should avoid. Was it on the sides? We should avoid the flanks of the ship.
Yeah. So now, let me see if I can. We'll say that they're about 100 feet off of the water. And you'll just have to remember that because I can't change it on this. But you guys can decide where you want to be in relation to its elevation. But like I had said, it's listing a bit, so you can see a good portion of the deck when you're level with it, more than you'd normally be able to. And so you can see that those tubes, it doesn't seem like if you're level with it that they'd actually be able to point at you because of the way it's listing. But you also see on the deck some other things that make you suspicious, because it's like some sort of tube of metal, and you see some glass or gems involved in its construction, and it's mounted on like a tripod on the deck, and you can see 4 of those, and they're manned by, they've got a person standing behind, and that whatever that thing is, they're moving it to track you as you go, and that makes you don't recognize it, but that makes you suspicious. Right. I mean, for some reason, it's not like they're like, it's not like some sort of spyglass thing, because they're not looking in it like you would. They're just using it to track your movements. So
I guess I'll sign to Rohan that I'm going east. I'm going to break off to the east, and you should probably break off to the west.
Yep.
All right. So I'll be level with them. I'll climb to 100 feet above sea level, and then I'll try to maintain a fairly good distance.
Okay.
Because I'll start bombarding them with fireballs. Right. That was the plan. We are going out here just to attack them.
Once we got the signal.
Oh, we haven't have a signal yet. Yes, I guess I'll begin circling. I'll keep distance and
kind
of circle around them.
All right. Shoot back over to Fenrith or what did you want to do, Rohan?
I'll be circling the other direction.
Okay. All right. Shoot back over to Fenrith and Graham. From whom will I be accepting the surrender of the peoples of these lands?
Tell him to go back to his emperor. He'll find no surrender here.
No retreat, no surrender.
This is Cradle. Kick him into the ocean.
Kick him into the ocean. Rain up my rock, and the rock will kick him into the ocean.
Fling him.
Yeah, I guess for Graham's part, my eyes are just going back and forth between Fenrith and this Empire guy with great interest. Maybe a slight smile playing on my lips since I know Fenrith.
It's only a matter of time before he's beating them with his sword.
So that's what you say?
Yep.
All right. So you can see an odd expression across his face. You can both do a sense motive if you'd like.
He accepts our bargain.
All right.
What's your sense
got
motive,
an understanding. That's probably not very good. Yeah, 6.
Pure wisdom.
Pretty much.
All right. So Fenrith, you recognize it as a close to panic, and he lowers his tone a bit, and you can see some more emotion on his face, and he's like, "Please, I beg you, you must.
Come on, my men are watching.
You don't, you'll be destroyed."
Then we'll be destroyed like men. Get the Scottish going. Fenrith, I can't do it.
The land of Cradle has always been free. It will remain free, as we're more than happy to enter into trade negotiations with your emperor, but will not be ruled by him.
He looks to you, Graham, and he's like, "Please talk some sense into your friend. If you value your life, his life, everybody's life."
Sorry, I can't do it.
I really want to see the emperor bleed.
All right. So then when you say that, he like visibly slumps as if, he's just lost all of his energy. And he says, "Damn you." And he turns and walks away.
You're breaking the law.
You're breaking my heart.
When he turns and walks away, he makes some motion, and this other human that was standing next to him pulls something from his waist. It looks sort of like a wand. It's just not constructed the way the wands are that you recognize. And he He points it at the sky, and there's this like really loud boom sound. And
It's a good way to get yourself killed, dude. Oh, man.
and then about 200 feet in the air, there's a burst, bright red burst that spreads out in all directions and then sort of slowly starts drifting. These little parts of it start slowly drifting to the ground. And when that happens, this whole group takes up attack positions. So let's do initiative.
Attacking at a parlay. What a bunch of losers.
We have to go and get our ranks in order, march at each other.
Yeah. I mean, that is a kind of a good point. Like, they could have gone home, or, at least back to their ship and reformed.
Suppose I should see if
I think that boom counts. I think that's our signal, Justin. They signaled us. It's their fault.
I think so too. Well,
You're on a hair trigger.
We can probably see that they're getting ready to attack.
I always thought you shooting the enemy was the signal to attack.
That's the usual signal.
We needed a signal before the signal.
That's also the signal when we're being attacked, too, usually.
An arrow, yeah.
Or some
Thanks
sort of
for
spell.
the warning.
Am I in a Terry Brooks novel?
Went right through my throat.
All right. So for
I'm okay.
It didn't. I had to push the arrow the rest of the way through my throat. That's how we know we're not in a Terry Brooks novel.
How many meaty fingers were there?
Isn't that? Am I using
We're
the
not
wrong
in Terry
name?
Goodkind.
Yeah, Terry Goodkind. Okay.
Wrong Terry.
Yeah.
I was like, am I saying the wrong guy? No, we just have to worry about becoming a beloved character and immediately being eviscerated.
Yeah.
That's why I have low charisma.
Mm-hmm. No one can
'Cause
like
you read
these
Terry
characters.
Brooks.
Yeah. No unlikable character dies.
Except,
Are we on the ground?
Steve Jans,
right?
he doesn't die.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
probably my favorite in the
Jans, yeah.
most.
the
Good luck,
Elfstone.
Fenris. I'm going to go
Elfstones.
get you some backup. Hold the line here.
I think
Will
he was
do,
the
Graham.
only one.
I think it was because he had
I'll just
no regard
word
for his
of
own
recall
life.
back to
Yeah.
the house.
Oh, are we going to retreat?
okay.
That was my escape plan if things went bad, yeah. As
Okay.
I can take both of us.
It's a bunch of red coats with muskets. You guys got this.
Yeah, so at that signal, then these goblins they they put those staffs to their shoulders and they aim them at you, and then you start hearing really loud booming sounds. So the first one will shoot at you, Fenrith.
Bride cometh before.
Let me make sure I put all my armor back on real quick.
Time to eat our words.
No, there won't be surrender.
Oh,
Yeah.
Be
I
death.
think I'm good.
Death.
Yeah, they'll have to kill us all. And the people in Cradle are like, wait a minute. I didn't agree to this. You're the hero. You can die. At which point, then we get to inform them that they do have to fight, or otherwise, after we're done with the dang empire, we will turn around and raise this little hellhole and sink the island.
That's what actually happened the first time.
Yeah, probably. The heroes came back, and everyone's like, boo.
You're like, you know what? You're banished.
You do realize we're level 30 hero characters. We can unmake this world.
All right, so so here's the way it happens. You hear this boom sound, and you can see that little goblin doing something with that. Like he moves it off his shoulder, and he's doing something. And then another boom sound quickly follows. So he takes 2 shots at you.
Oh, they've got cartridges.
Yeah.
They are advanced.
Well, when was the cartridge was fairly, well, not cartridge, but like it was like paper tubing or something, right? Where you
Yeah.
basically just stuff it all down in. That was fairly early on. They could be at that stage. Rapid reload doesn't say, I mean, he could not have a cartridge and just be rapid reloading.
Dude.
Holy moly.
Point of order.
Yeah. So you're not able to see, obviously, but something slams two things slam into your chest.
I'm out of the hero squad.
Fenrith, and you take 6 and 8 damage respectively.
Well, at least the damage isn't awful.
I thought that was the damage. I thought he just got hit for, what is that, 88 damage? I was like, ooh, that's fun.
All right, so they're just using like 22 caliber.
Well, like
I said, these ones, because they're goblins, theirs are smaller than that one that human has. But
also, like, I think like the standard like musket pistol was like only 1d10, so I think like a 22 would be like 1d4 range.
All right, and then this
maybe multiple d4s.
This automaton, on the bottom, it starts in that same electronic voice, like, these lands belong to Emperor Dragon LeBlanc. All must surrender. And it raises a hand towards you, Graham, and fires a laser beam at you.
I wonder if we can send their rocks to go protect them.
That was probably something that they should have thought about.
Yeah.
We just have to deal with this 50 cal machine gun that's going to be bombarding us here.
So this laser beam goes sailing right past your face, Graham. You feel the heat of it, but it doesn't strike you, and then it's your move.
Okay, I'll move to get some soft cover here.
Behind Fenrith.
Yep. And I'll pull... what was the range on that? Might as well start it out that way. Take a look.
You just need to up in that bag of dirt on them, bury them alive.
70 feet. I think I'll pull out one of those fireballs off my necklace and toss it at the enemy.
Okay.
We'll do the... might as well go big. We'll do the type 8.
All right. So, just target all that it would encompass and throw it out there.
And what are they, 20 feet for a fireball?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it's everything. Oh, that doesn't work. That's kind of too bad. My target all enemy ones doesn't work. Does it work for you guys?
I don't think I've ever used it. I just do it manually.
Only 1-2 failures?
Yeah, let me take a look at that. So, failure.
Shouldn't a level 8 be higher than DC 14, though?
Well, from a caster, yeah, but this is from a necklace.
Well, it would be the base level of either the spell of the...
that's just what the item
So
says.
go ahead and
Okay,
throw
I
out
see.
that damage.
Okay.
Does that ignite gunpowder?
All right, so you throw out this, you take this bead off of this necklace and throw it out there, and there's this loud explosion, every bit as loud as from the musket there, and as flame engulfs all of them. And when it dissipates, some of the goblins are noticeably burned, but still standing. And let me check on something here.
Man, we're deaf because we've been firing those things often.
Well, these gunshots were just like...
Huh? Yeah, you hear the gunshots go off and you're expecting to be engulfed in a giant ball of fire. Fenrith gets shot twice. He's like, huh? Is it going to explode later? Quick, dig it out. Dig them out. I'm going to explode.
Okay. All right. Yeah, anything else for you, Graham?
No, that's it for me. And for the cover bonus, I guess you'll just have to remember that. I don't have anything to apply. If I hide behind Fenrith, I get a +4, but only against range attacks. I don't get the reflex save.
Okay. All right. And that'll bring us to you, Casimir. So you see this happening down there. There's like some loud booms, and then clearly fireballs are being thrown about. So, well, I put you and Tempest in the same, and that's the way we'll run it. So
Okay. Yeah, so I'll start. Oh, a sec. I can just move. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, so I'll start circling off to the east, 40 feet, or no, 80 feet. And while that Tempest Riven is doing that, I'll shoot a fireball at the ship.
all right. So you're how far away from him?
It was
100?
100 something, yeah.
Okay.
Let me target it.
And you're doing this with a wand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it not work correctly, or does it just not get a save?
Yeah, I mean, it's not actually on. I mean, it's not actually on the combat tracker because
okay.
it's very complicated. So roll the damage, and I'll play it properly. Okay.
And what's our turning radius? Is it fairly tight these days? What is it called? Maneuverability. And so Riven will try to end her turn sort of facing the direction of the ship.
Okay.
However, that has to work because then the next round she's going to go at the ship.
All right. And are you moving?
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted me to actually move it, but she'll
go ahead.
be off that direction. The problem is I don't have a way of... Well, I was going to use that for measurement, how far away she moved from me.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't have a way of... It's not giving me the weight to move thing, so it's not measuring.
Facing.
That looks about right, though, from there. But I think I was like right here, so she'd have to be there.
Okay.
That's where she'll move to.
All right.
And that's my turn.
Okay, so that's that. Oh, wait, I got the birds mixed up here.
Oh.
So I'll do... Tempest would be the same as Ron down there at 6. All right. And Casimir and Riven just went, so back over to Graham and Fenrith. So Graham throws out this fireball and it explodes, and immediately both of these automatons change their message, and they start, magic detected, magic is strictly prohibited, magic detected, magic is strictly prohibited.
I wonder if you could do a logical fallacy. Magic is prohibited in the lands that the Emperor owns. He doesn't own these lands yet. Henceforth, the magic is legal.
Well, they're probably
According to
programmed
them, he does own it.
But it's not true. Otherwise, they wouldn't be having to fight you. You would be...
you guys are rebels.
This is just a rebel uprising in lands that were always peaceful to the Emperor.
beforehand. 1,000 years of peace.
Yeah, this one starts stomping over this direction, raises a hand, and fires a laser bolt at Fenrith. But it misses and goes above your head. And then we go on to the other goblins there. So they, like this one in particular is horribly burned. Most of his face is melted off, which makes no difference because he's a goblin. So he looks normal. And but he'll level his rifle and take a couple of shots at you, Fenrith. Fix this real quick. All right. So 2 more loud booms. See a puff of smoke come from the end of that tube, and 2 more hit you, Fenrith, for 11 and 8 damage, respectively. And then this human, he's facing you, and Fenrith and Graham, you're looking at this human, and he's got this belt with a bunch of pouches, and he reaches into one and he pulls out a wand, which looks like a wand, right? So clearly the law doesn't apply to him.
Above the law.
These guys are a bunch of hypocrites.
Oh, wait. That's not true. That's not what he does.
Good, because being a hypocrite is the worst thing you can be.
No, yeah, that's exactly what he does.
Oh, death sentence.
So Fenrith, he points it at you, and you can see it light up, and you can feel some force begin to wrap itself around you, and then it just slides off, and you're not sure what it was, but it had no effect on you.
Can I do a spellcraft to try and determine what it was?
No, that would take more time than I want to devote to this. Yeah, if you want.
Game Master Union
I failed
only
anyways.
allows you to do a few.
Unless it was like a level 3 spell.
Maybe you can't. Maybe you can't do it for a wand.
Well, he can do it because he resisted the effect. That's one of the options. Trying to look for it right now.
As after rolling a save against a spell targeting you, determine what that spell was. There's no action required, no retry. But I failed it because I rolled an 18 instead of probably the 20.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 29 or so needed.
All right. So that's his turn. And then another goblin who's not quite as burned, but still badly burned.
So he's the pretty one?
Yeah, he's the prettiest of the goblins. No, yeah, one of the prettiest of the goblins.
He's beautiful.
It's like that one gremlin from Gremlins 2.
He'll take a shot. He'll take 2 shots at Graham.
Impossible.
That's
How does he see me back here?
That's how it should be solved. You should just have to sit down and take shots, and the person who doesn't pass out.
Do you think he wouldn't be able to see you?
No, I'm just joking.
Okay, well, I don't have any patience for humor, so let's keep it serious at all times. That's a joke. All right, so...
Except it isn't.
It couldn't. Once you made that declaration, I could not take it that way.
Yeah, so your AC would be higher?
Yeah, you want me to just write in a +4 or...
Yeah, do it for now.
Okay, it's on there. Still, they were rolling pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the AC game is over officially.
Just give John a chance.
Right. He'll figure it out.
In fact, it's a personal challenge.
All right, yeah, so 2 explosions. I don't understand why that's not working. All right, 2 shots coming your way, Graham. And they hit, and you take 6 damage and 8 damage.
I've been shot.
Fenrith, that brings us to you.
It's getting real cold, Fenrith.
All right. So, and so far, I guess it hasn't been going too badly.
Yeah, negotiations are just going awesome.
Yeah. So, might as well kick it up a notch here. As I'll do Flame Strike on that orange 10-foot area. So everything except for the 2 law enforcers, and I'll convert the fire into acid.
There's that vindictive trait.
All right. So you go to cast this spell. Let me...
Should convert it into spite. Why does it remind me of my mother? This damage. It's emotional.
All right. Let's get... Okay, go ahead. All right, so you do Flame Strike and change it to acid. So a pillar of acid appears from the heavens and slams down over this group. And
this is the one that's half is divine power, half was fire.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Did you do the damage? All right. So then when this acid disappears or dissipates, see, it looks like, is that all of them? All of the goblins, not only killed them, but it melted them into just a puddle of gooey flesh on the ground there.
Okay, it's now tradition. You have to start repeating what the lawbringers are saying. John, surrender now. These lands belong to Fenrith.
Yeah, belong to Emperor Fenrith.
LeBlanc.
Automatons are outlawed. Surrender now.
Roll out, automatons.
Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Nope. Well, I will actually tell Graham to let me know if he wants to retreat. And
I think we're doing good so far.
Big wide smile.
Okay.
And then cough up a small amount of blood.
and a few bullets.
All right. So now you can, the smell of acid and melted flesh fills the air.
mingling with that gun smoke smell.
Yeah.
Don't forget the smell of divine.
Vanilla?
Mm.
Hmm?
We know
Whatever
what's
you
it?
want it to be.
Manna in the Bible is described as like honey-like tasting, so maybe vanilla and honey. What's hell smell like? Potpourri is what I say.
Potpourri mixed with mothballs.
Mm.
All right. So this other human takes off straight to the north there. And he gets to there and stops and turns, and he takes a shot at you, Fenrith.
We need that one goblin like picking up its arm and trying to reattach it, but it's melting. Yeah, so this is some Saving Private Ryan stuff.
For them, yeah.
Meanwhile, you got two smaller than you elves that are just standing there and tanking your bullet. It's going to be like that George Washington legend where like people were aiming directly at him. He had holes in like his hat and cape.
So his shot goes wide. You can hear it whiz through the air above your head. And Rohan, that brings us to you.
All right. So are there several different targets on the deck of this ship?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
So the best way to do that, I think, will be...
Do you have them statted out?
I do.
Yeah, just drag some tokens out onto the map somewhere. And that way he can target them.
The entire ship is only 30 feet long, so I can hit any of them.
Dude, all they need is 4 monks with arrow snatch.
I'm not using arrows.
Oh, okay.
Not this round.
I'm not using arrows.
All right, here's what I'll do.
Using, what was it called? Was it from Fallout, the nuke launcher. Was it Fat Man?
Yeah. Similar to that. No, I have chain lightning I can cast once a week through my armor. So
I can cast it too.
and on a ship, it's like they cluster together for us.
It's so rare that we get to have enemies clustered like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emperor LeBlanc.
Please send more phalanx at us in this exact formation.
Yeah, I was thinking like how different the armies would have been lined up if you had like a one mage. In that they still might do it, but like your ranks would just get tore up.
It'd be like modern warfare.
Yeah,
where you don't move in like tightly clustered companies.
and you sure as hell wouldn't want to be playing a drum anymore. Let's alert the mage that we're coming a mile off. He still might fail his listen check though, until you're like 30 feet away. Drums. Casimir, what do your elf ears hear? Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, and then we'll do...
I like how the more AoEs you guys are flinging, it starts becoming like those old arcade games. Trying to destroy missiles that are incoming. Need to fill the screen. Hey, Graham, what's your gather information? Or decipher script?
Let me take a look. I don't think I have any ranks in it because I just used the use magic device.
I see. Can you decipher this?
Why are you flipping the
It just popped into my head. Decipher this script.
All right, let me put them on here.
You son of...
Emperor LeBlanc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I really love like NPCs that I just immediately hate. Like, I've never met this emperor. He could be a really nice guy. But I do kind of want to pull a mountain on him and just walk in and kill his wife and children in front of him and bash his head against the wall.
Yeah,
Well, based off what I've been able to put together so far, he travels the people that make horns for his units, and he just tells them this is not blaring enough. More blaring.
Well, they
I
broke our
command it.
gate, which immediately, justifies anything we do to him.
Well, even before that, they violated my peace and quiet.
Yeah.
I like to think that it's our elven smugness. He felt it all the way across the ocean. And so this is, it's one of those. It's like a who shot first, huh? Is it really his fault that we're so smug and he just had to end us? Nah, it's not his fault. It's a natural reaction. But his horns are blaring, and he did break our gate. And for that, we need to invent nuclear weapons. Actually, I want to change Fireball into like a acid arrow napalm type. So that way it does the same damage over consecutive rounds.
So that's what you can see from your angle.
Okay.
Sorry.
And actually, I lied. We should say that you can't actually see that lawn, that automaton on the back.
People on the starboard side. Yeah.
And the captain there, or what you assume by, him walking around giving orders and his spectacular hat. Like you just see little flashes of him as he moves about because of the, the rigging is in the way, but you can see enough to see that he's there, but he's definitely not fully visible to you. But anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be kind of circling a little bit wide, but heading in towards it like that.
All right.
As I head in, preparing to attack next round, I will target everything on there. And for one of those brief glances when I can see the captain, I'll unleash the chain lightning in my armor, the once a week ability that I have.
Okay.
So he would take full damage from it. Everything else would take half damage, and then with the reflex save. So, are you kidding me? They all have evasion?
Not all of them.
Oh, okay.
What are you even talking about? There's one.
I see 2.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4 with evasion.
Oh, I see what you're. Okay, I got you.
Anyway, yeah, that's the damage. Captain would take full, and then the others would take half, and then half if they got their save.
Unless they got evasion.
Unless they have evasion, yeah.
All right. Yeah, so you let out this chain lightning, and it streaks through the sky and slams into that captain, and then arcs to the other ones around there. Which, yeah, we'll say that's what happened. And you can definitely tell by the smoke coming from the captain's uniform that it hurt him. You can't tell if it had any effect on the others.
Dude, don't wreck the hat.
Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that's my turn.
All right.
Let's see if I survive for the next one.
Okay. All right. So from this distance, you can actually hear now. It's faint because of the wind and everything, but you can actually hear those automatons and magic detected. Magic is illegal. Surrender. But this one that's standing on the bow, closer to the front of the ship, raises its hands at you. I guess technically at Tempest, and fires some laser beams at Tempest. And those, those have that unique effect that they don't travel the distance. They just suddenly, there's a line. And I know in IRL you wouldn't be able to see it, but these ones you can because it's cooler. So these red beams just appear. And we got a critical threat and a critical hit. So both of these beams hit Tempest. And that's a lot of damage. So there's a critical 66 damage and then 38 damage to Tempest there.
Okay. That doesn't quite take him halfway, but really.
But that's that one's turn. And let's see, that one can't get there. All right, Captain. Let's see. No, that won't work.
Should have also tried to target anything that looked like it was a weapon on the ship as an object, like those crystals that they've been tracking us with. Should have targeted those as well.
All right, so then that captain steps up, and you can see, he doesn't have a weapon. I mean, he's dressed like you'd expect a ship captain, just a very wealthy one. I mean, his uniform looks nice, and he's got just an incredible hat with feathers and everything.
Want the hat.
But he steps forward and he raises his hands, and you can, I mean, even from this distance, you can determine that he's doing a spell.
He was wiggling fingers.
Yep, we can't leave him alive.
Well, it's illegal.
Yep. Let's see if the law enforcer turns on him.
And unfortunately, we're lawful good.
So he is actually also targeting Tempest. And as he raises his hands, lightning bursts from his hands and streaks toward Tempest. So Tempest has failed. It's a 43 electricity. And then you need to make a save because it's actually chain lightning.
Okay.
So you do a reflex save. And you save.
And I do have evasion.
So you don't take any damage. But, clearly Tempest is starting to hurt.
Yep.
That's his turn. All right. So then you see on what's the front of the ship called?
You got it right.
And
The bow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
And the stern for the
that
rear.
human on the very front of the ship that's, standing at that thing on the bipod, that long tube, and it's been tracking your movement. So that it's his turn now, and he will fire at you. So let me get where
What is what is that word?
what word?
It's just FO'C''SLE. Apparently, is a part on a ship or
Yeah, so this another laser beam streaks out towards Tempest from this device this guy's manning here. So
forecastle. Forward part of a ship below the deck, traditionally used as a crew's living quarters.
so this beam slams into Tempest as well. This one's clearly smaller than the ones coming from those automatons, but nevertheless, it does 14 damage to Tempest.
Okay.
And let's see, that second one, that's within range. So it will also fire his laser beam at Tempest.
Can't let the birds get too close to those lawmakers. Otherwise, they'll pick up that speech and they won't shut up about it.
Mhm.
They'll be doing something. Squawk, magic is illegal.
Well, they're smarter than we are now, so I think they.
I think only
Be
one is
a little
smarter
different.
than us, right?
I think it's as smart or 1 point lower. I think it was mine. I rolled like a 17.
So that one hits Tempest as well and does 14 damage.
Yeah, so it's close. It's probably challenging me on like math equations or something, scratching in the dirt.
Yeah, Tempest has an intelligence of 10. And I think he was the lowest one.
Now, you can see that there's 4 total of these like mini laser cannons. 3 of them are on the back of the ship. One's on the front. On the back, 2 of them are able to target. The other one isn't able to target you because it's on the other side of the ship. But this third gunner will take this laser beam at you. Or at Tempest, I should say, and will say. So that's a hit for 10 damage, Tempest, from that laser beam. And then that other one can't. And that brings us all the way back to Fenrith and Graham, down here on the ground where the lowly people live. And it is this large automaton's turn, this one at the bottom, and it is still shouting, and you can still see that that odd star-shaped spinning thing coming from both of their heads. It's spinning pretty quickly now. So this one also is approaching. It moves up to here and fires a beam at this one was targeting Graham.
One was shooting at me. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, as this happens, as it walks forward and raises its hand, you hear like a metallic, like 2 metallic pops. And behind, and then from its back, you see
It's going to launch missiles at you.
Big LRM or SRM racks come up.
I'll tell you what you see here. So these are tiny, obviously tiny mechanical devices. and they pop up out of its back, and they're like hovering in the air. So these they're tiny steel. They do look like creatures. It's like one oversized eye, and it's this round spherical body with a oversized eye, and then several spider-like legs sticking out of it, and whatever means it's using to fly, you can't be sure. There is like what looks like, the heat shimmers coming from the bottom of it, but it's not making any sound. But those pop out from its back, and they immediately zip off towards the ocean.
Thought you were going to get droned.
But this thing will take its laser shot at you, Graham. And you put your AC correct?
It's still, got the +4.
That said, if this was a mech warrior, I believe it's base damage of the weapon, so laser, probably a small laser, so 1 times 1d.
Yeah, so another laser, it just appears in the air, but it misses you, streaks off endlessly behind you. All right, Graham, your turn.
All right. Let's not get into a healing deficit here. So I'll pull out the obsidian wand. Didn't that work?
Oh, dang it. I'm just picturing LeBlanc looking at visual footage that these things are probably sending back, and it's just the elf
Magic
dipping himself
everywhere.
on the head and throwing fireballs.
And I'll press it into the small of Fenris' back.
Do you think we have like a Maori war dance type thing? We are islanders, so.
And heal him up. And I'll tell him I don't think we need to run away, but let me know if you think a wall would be useful. And that's the end of my turn.
All right.
After you make your wall of ice, do you know nothing?
Casimir, that takes us to you. So you've watched from afar as Tempest
It bursts into flames.
just took laser after laser, lightning hit her. So, I mean, even from here, you can see blackened, charred feathers and skin.
Yeah, that will urge me to not get closer than need be. All right, so let's... Oh, go on. All right, target Tempest here, or Riven. And then, how far away are you from that?
Okay.
So Riven will fly that way. And can I see onto the deck? I'm level with it, so yay, nay.
Yeah, so from where you are, you can basically just see that gunner on the very back,
Okay.
because the back of the ship is like I don't know what they call it, but
Where it lifts up slightly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so fireball that direction on him.
Okay.
I don't know why it rolled twice on that. Oh, it's because I'm targeting Riven. So that one guy succeeded. Do you want me to target the other ones?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. All right, let's get that roll again then. And then damage. And that's my turn.
Okay. All right. So is this a wand?
Yeah.
All right. So you shoot a fireball out there, and it explodes, but you're not able to tell what effect that it has had.
Yeah.
But from where you are, you kind of got a better view of the starboard side of it now, and you can see visible flames coming from the starboard side on the the hull. And
I hope this is a hydrogen-filled balloon. It'll be so fun.
yeah, and more smoke is going in, billowing into the sky from there too.
All right. What do you think the blast radius on that would be?
Don't know.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, we may find out soon if I'll be in it.
How big was blast from the Hindenburg?
All right, so back down here on the ground, this second automaton here, still stomping towards you guys, still angry that you're using magic, which is against the law. Gets to here, and from here, it will do another laser beam at you, Fenrith, but it misses again.
Man, they were flying those things for 30 years. I thought it was just like the one and done.
Yeah, I think they had a picture of it over in New York, the actual Hindenburg.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That ship was huge, though. They're saying like 800 feet.
I think it even had a big swastika over it. It was before
Yeah,
the war was on.
I really dislike how they just don't have like the base. I just want to know how big the blast radius was, people. Now they want me to start getting a little bit more specific, and that's where I start getting worried. Like,
Yeah. I wonder if there was an explosion or if it just catch fire crash.
Yeah, so this the human leader of this group, he is obviously casting a spell, and let me bring it up here.
Yeah, it looks like it took a while.
Isn't that where the humanity quote comes from?
I believe. Yeah, was it from a movie? Forget. It always cracks me up when you go back and read like any of these ship disasters, like even that cruise liner where they go over it. It seems like there's absolutely like no care given. It's like, oh, we are drifting closer to the rocks, and like in this case, like one of the people noticed that I think it was one of the fuel cells or fuel banks was leaking, and then they noticed a bit of fire over it. It's so clinical, I guess would be a good word.
I feel like previous generations were used to things being a little shaky too.
Yeah, so he cast this spell, and then behind you guys, a magical wall appeared.
Hey, that's what I was planning to do. Why do you create walls like I do, bro?
Fenrith, we're going silent on communication. The enemies can hear us.
How did they know our plan? Even though we're only 15 feet away and speaking in normal volume.
Could have been speaking in Elvish. Why do we speak common all the time?
So that they can understand us.
Yeah, so this is, and I'll put it on there so you guys can see it. This a wall, a 6-inch thick wall of moving iron cogs, wheels, gears, pistons, and assorted mechanical parts appears behind you.
Does it also have warning lights going off about loose clothing or long hair needing to be tied up?
No, but that's an OSHA violation that it doesn't, for sure.
No, it has OSHA certified sticker on it.
Yeah.
What is this thing even doing? It's a little
All right.
So let me put it on the map here. We'll use this one.
It's washing and sorting and bagging apples all along the wall.
It makes applesauce. It was originally supposed to...
and people sauce if you get too close to it.
Well, it was originally supposed to wash and clean apples, but when they started running the apples through it, they found out it just created a nice paste. That's a real cool picture of it over New York.
Yeah.
That was 800 feet. 800 feet worth...
Back then, I don't even think they had the Empire State yet, did they?
I think it was being built, right? Because I know that they had the observation deck that was meant for it to be landed at.
Can you guys see that on your map?
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah.
So is it 10 feet thick?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm right at the edge of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so if you move backwards, you're gonna get caught in it and die a horrible death. But that's what he does. And he will then also...
What a knucklehead.
Move over here behind that guy. And Fenrith, that brings us to you.
All right. I will... Hold on, let me pull this up one more time. Okay. I'll do a blade barrier here.
We got walls too.
Yeah, put it like to the south of us, and I'll put my ice wall to the north of us, and it's like, come down this funnel for death.
Does you want me to do a straight line instead of the...
No, go with your plan. I was
okay.
just...
I was just saying, I was saying,
probably
hit a
box us in.
couple of them.
Show us how overconfident
Then I'll
we
do
are.
a flame wall at the back end of it then, if we're going to go that route.
No, I think I might split off and start stalking this spellcaster.
So there was a ball of flame that was 10 feet in diameter, but they're still not giving me what I want.
Now, what spell is this you've used?
Blade
barrier. Okay. All right. So you cast this blade barrier, and let's see. He fails. He succeeds. He succeeds, and he succeeds. So it only catches the law enforcer 1, and the others, by virtue of having succeeded, get to be on the side of it that they choose.
Dang it, Google, come on, just give me what I want. See, because now I'm going to have to ask,
So go ahead and roll damage.
how much hydrogen, how big would the explosion be from the amount of hydrogen, not just the... So, sorry, Justin, you're going on a list.
For
Trying to calculate how much hydrogen is, the size of the explosion from hydrogen. Because it's not giving me how big the damn Hindenburg disaster was, which is much, much bigger than the ship we're going up against if that is also filled with hydrogen. Hi, Kitty.
Okay. So anything else for your turn, Fenrith?
Nope, that's it.
All right, so you cast this spell, and this wall comes into place, and everybody seems to have been successful diving out of the way except one. And you can hear, the effects of these blades hitting it, but you're not seeing any visible damage from it. And then, is it opaque?
It just says that it's made of force.
Which is opaque or visible as,
Dictated by the spell.
well, as on the whim of whoever it seems half the dang time. But yeah, usually the spell will...
A blade barrier provides cover against attacks made through it. Okay.
And it's not like it would be concealment if it were
Yeah.
invisible or something. I guess it wouldn't be anything if it were invisible.
Well, no, it could still provide cover by being there because it's physical blades whirling.
Right.
Right. So it could stop like an arrow in theory going through it.
Yeah, but they do have a differentiation between cover that you can hide behind and cover you can't.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's just regular cover, you'd be able to hide behind it. But if it's soft cover, say like your meaty cleric, you can't hide behind it. I think you could if he gets big, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So
That's it, though. I like the idea of blade barrier being invisible.
It
just
does
because
make it spookier.
Yeah.
Like if you just hear wind and twirling
Mhm.
blades.
It's like some poor fool getting caught in a helicopter blade or something. But yeah, that's one of those where they like never like really codified it.
Yeah.
I guess would be the appropriate word, I think.
It's not like a default for force.
Yeah, because like even magic missile, like technically the missiles themselves might not be visible. They just emit light,
Yeah.
right? So, but most people usually go with it's visible unless otherwise stated. Like a wall of force is stated to be invisible, or it's not even invisible, right? It's transparent, so you can't see it with invisibility because it has no actual state in which it is visible.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to reveal, which really got some people arguing on a forum I was reading.
Yeah, I could definitely see it because like your mage armor, you don't see anything.
Yeah, mage armor shield is also a shield of force, I believe. And I believe it provides,
all right, Rohan, that brings us to you.
in earlier editions, it provided
all right.
armor based on large shields.
So
So cover.
what I'm going to do for the turn is Tempest is going to move forward and dive down underneath the ship, diving down to just above the water, which should put me about 100 feet below it.
Okay.
But as it's making that dive, I'm going to target the captain and fire a full volley.
I was hoping we'd get to recreate Jaws in the air.
Okay.
Come on, scroll. All right. What's with the ones today?
All right, so 2 of your arrows hit that captain.
Okay. And yeah, that'll put me in Tempest directly beneath it, in a hover about 10 feet off the water.
All right. So from there, you are able to see that
I'll move that so that you can...
there on the underneath of it, there are ramps like the bottom part of it is opening.
I'm going to get bombed.
Well, no, I mean, it's opening, sort of like a mouth, and inside there you can see flames everywhere.
Ah.
And you can see that there are a bunch of, humans and goblins pulling themselves into those winged rowboats.
Lifeboats.
Okay.
Anything else for your turn?
No.
Commit war crimes.
Yeah, they're all enemies.
I wonder if that's something I've never done in D&D. I've never discussed like a Geneva Convention type thing. Rules for how we're going to be conducting this genocide.
All right. So then, now you can't see anymore on, but you can, for the most part, Casimir, up on the deck. You don't know what's going on underneath there like he does, but up on the deck, they all start moving and huddling around the captain there.
All right, so I guess
Except for the big automatons. They're not.
They don't care.
But the humans are starting to huddle around the captain.
Okay. So is it going to explode and fall on Rohan, or is it just going to fall on Rohan?
Well, I think it's going to probably fall on him. Brandon's got to make...
Oh, yeah, helicopter. Yeah. Justin, you need to get out of there quick.
It's happening.
It was prophecy when I said it before.
And like all prophets, it took, 20 years? It didn't happen immediately. You had to say it every time, and now it's it's really happening this time.
It's happened once before.
With what?
When in Shadowrun.
Then they all start huddling around that captain, and then they suddenly disappear.
Oh, yeah, in the one he was game mastering.
Yeah, the one Brandon was game mastering.
Okay.
Like a spirit affected the helicopter and it tried to crash on me.
Yeah, we're all about that.
Yep.
So technically your prophecy has already come true, but no one believes you.
Well, I know in my memory of the telling it, I felt like it got misattributed by someone at some point to me doing it. And so I'm like, yeah, I don't think I ever did. Like, I have no memory of that. But, I mean, we still were, drinking every now and then. So
Yeah.
it does play hell on your short-term memory. Maybe that's what happened. Do we have a rager on our 11th session or what a session in this run?
I don't think so.
And that brings us to... So you guys can see down on the ground, Graham and Fenrith, you see those two little, those small little flying things. They had started moving off towards the ocean, and this time, they just quite suddenly shoot off at just a ridiculous speed. Like they were moving at a normal rate of speed, and now they're just...
They break the sound barrier?
Yeah, and it does, actually. You hear some sonic booms.
Fort save to not go deaf, like a thunderstone. Heck yeah.
And they disappear. You can hear the leader there. He says they will go back to our homeland and bring more. The full might of the empire will fall on you if you don't surrender.
Odd. We were just thinking about going to your homeland.
This
Just the four of us.
automaton down here, he keeps stepping forward. When he gets to here, he turns to face, he's facing both of you, and this little panel on his chest moves down, and then he does a laser cone.
What?
That would affect both of you. So I'll go ahead and add Fenrith. We'll cast it.
Is this a standard red laser?
Yeah.
I like how we're going to go OK Corral a whole country.
It's normal in D&D.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Both of you are successful on your reflex save, and so only Fenrith should take any damage. 8 damage to Fenrith from this laser cone.
No, it gave me 8, but Fenrith 0.
Yes.
Wow.
I've absorbed your power.
Does it not trigger evasion automatically?
It ought to, oughtn't it?
Seems like it does for your guys.
Did you take 8?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I was at 17.
Yeah, I was just wondering because sometimes it says something happened, but it actually was fixing it behind the
15. What was
scenes or
it?
something.
I can't remember.
Let me figure this out. Okay, because it's fire.
Oh, I took 4.
So that's why Fenrith took no damage. But why? Reflex, half on success. I don't know why it gave you damage. You have...
Well, it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that in case it...
Well, you can count on it. I only have 74 of the things, so they're quite precious to me. Just like my fireballs.
You have that many fireballs?
No, I have even less.
Oh.
Well, you could take the wand I have and try to split it like you do Bloodtooth.
Maybe the gnomish device can do that too.
The wiser Graham is a lot less reckless with his magic items.
That's what we'd like to think.
No way, that's all I've done in this combat so far is use magic items.
Now he's just better at getting away with it when he starts making a mess of things.
But yeah, just leading with the Ring of Ram was how you used to.
I know, I'm so angry I don't actually have it equipped right now.
I like to think that Graham, when he leaves any place, actually wipes off all of his fingerprints, and everyone's wondering why. But he doesn't even know why. He just knows that's something you need
It's
to
just
do.
the training.
Yeah.
It's like, how was it? I forget which mage it was. I think it might have been the first version of somebody. He was just constantly scrubbing the astral plane of his signature because we were so dang paranoid.
Yeah. Well, when you think about corpos coming after you, you think about things occurring in a vacuum. But really, if you were down in the Barrens, right? There's so much noise going on.
Yeah, that would help to defend against them tracking you.
Yeah.
And it's one of those corporations probably would go into the Barrens without a problem, but I don't think it's the thing they want to do all the time. Right? They would probably just hire some other Shadowrunners and send them in.
Okay, so that's his turn. And Graham, that brings us to you.
Okay. I think it's time to go mobile here. I'm going to cast from my Ring of Spell Storing Greater Invisibility.
From the shadows I strike.
Where's that? Invisible. Last 10 rounds, is that right? And it won't drop when I attack. And then I'll free action click on my haste boots.
Oh no, he's invisible and fast.
For which I have 7 rounds left. And I might as well just tempt fate and tumble through. Just because I like to fail spectacularly. So we'll tumble through that enforcer's space to get to where I marked out there.
Okay.
And I believe that will end my turn. Well, free action, draw one of my daggers or prepare it as I move.
Okay.
The dagger, Bloodtooth. One of.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Bloodtooth might start wondering what other daggers there are.
Right. What do you mean, one of?
All right. So yeah, you go, and you got the tumble, so you go twirling and cartwheeling through his space there, and that brings us to you, Casimir.
All right.
So all your living targets on the deck are gone. There's still those 2 automatons are still there, but they're it looks like standing on the very edge of the ship.
And I don't see anyone coming out of lifeboats yet.
No, but you do see. All right, you do see on the back, on the bottom, at the very back, the bottom opens up like I had described to him, but opens up, facing the back, and you don't see any boats in there, but you do see. These are long, metallic creatures, constructs. Sorry, you see one. It's very big. It seems like that that panel opens up, and then there's just blackness, and then you see this thing, but it's an odd effect. Like, as the more of it you see, the more clear it is that it actually can't fit in there. You're not sure what's going on there, but
Full of holding.
this is a long metallic serpent-like construct. It's made out of all different kinds of metals, but it resembles like an enormous eel with paddle-like limbs, and it drops into the ocean. But then it's your turn.
All right. All right. I'll start getting closer to it, and that'll be the end of my turn. I guess I could delay a fireball in case I see anyone coming out.
Okay. All right. So you start moving closer, and now you can see flames actually popping up from the deck, the floor of the deck, like it's consuming the ship from the inside out. And then as you watch, that's what you see. Flames starting to consume the ship.
All right.
All right. So this other automaton still stomping towards you, Fenrith. Magic is illegal. These lands are under the rulership of Emperor Dragon LeBlanc. And it will move to there. Take like a 5-foot step to there. And now, instead of shooting a laser, it will start punching you. Punch you to do a 1-2 punch.
Stop resisting, criminal scum.
1 hit and 1 miss. So you'll take 21 damage from the 1 punch.
All right,
Punch
I
to the
will
face. Surrender.
also
Surrender.
release the inflict serious wounds. It's in the breastplate.
Are you sure?
Apparently not,
All right.
because it failed.
Well, it failed its will save, so do the damage. But
Well, what I'm
they're
saying
not-
is it's gonna fail.
Yeah.
No.
these things don't. These things obviously have the same or close to the same immunities to magic that golems have. So far from your experience. And now we have this human here, and you come cartwheeling and backflipping and somersaulting towards him,
Probably just looking at me.
Graham. And so he will cast a spell upon you. And what he's gonna cast is an enchantment. So make sure that it gives you the +2 to resist it.
Okay.
He will target Graham. Oh, you want to be that way, do you? He raises his hands, goes through the intricate motions, casts a spell, and this will call for a
Are you right up there on him?
No, there's 10 feet between us.
will save,
Uh-oh.
and you have failed.
It doesn't look like it added. Is it +2?
Mhm.
We
Yeah,
did.
you get a +2.
Did I still fail with a 15?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we might as well use a hero point and try it again.
Okay. You're looking for a 20.
Oh, goodness. Come on, Graham. I'm trying to repair our reputation here.
Or 18, sorry. You're looking for an 18.
The other heroes already make fun of me.
That's a no.
All right, so the spell completes, and you can feel this tingling feeling in your, the back of your neck, and but you don't take any damage, so
No harm, no foul.
it looks like whatever it was.
Probably nothing.
Guy's a
But-
vampire.
You look over at, you look back at Fenrith over there, and he's getting punched by this thing, and you are consumed by the most powerful desire you've ever felt for his sword.
Oh, can this be like when Kaylin uses her Mother Confessor power on Richard?
Thunder without sound. Time,
Right,
time
but
was his.
I already wanted his sword, so nothing changed.
No.
Okay.
Let me add this on here so we remember.
Hold on a sec, Fenrith. I got to do a little thieving.
I'm sorry. I gotta do it, Brandon. I feel so compelled to. Graham is invisible. Okay. I just have to.
Yeah, you would cast invisibility, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, that's never worked.
Yeah.
For me yet.
I know. I just have to. You got to go over the entire list of effects to try to worm out of it.
In fact, one might wonder.
It is.
I can never sneak attack. I can never meet the conditions of sneak attack. What's going on here?
It's good to keep, but yeah, in this case, that didn't help him. So, for the duration of this spell, you seek to obtain that object, going so far as to attack anyone holding or wearing it. If you gain possession of it, you will protect it greedily, attacking anyone who approaches within 30 feet or who otherwise appears to be trying to take the object away. If no one approaches within 30 feet or seems interested in trying to take the object, then you can act normally.
All right. So I guess you don't get an attack opportunity when you go to disarm him.
Dang it.
Because well, no, he doesn't get one against you, right? Because you're invisible.
That's true, but I have to try to disarm him.
Oh, wait. No, that's the wrong dude. Never mind. Take it all back. Go back in time. Go back. This isn't the dude I thought it was.
Actually, you don't have to change anything because you, like you said,
Like
you
I said, that's all right. What was on the docket?
No, you're right. This is not the dude who has the true seeing. So,
Well, I thought I should have known because when I was looking at him earlier, it looked like he had goggles on. Now there's blood covering his face, though. Never trust somebody with goggles.
No, but this isn't. Those aren't the goggles you're worried about. So.
Okay.
So no, that's not what happens. Instead, he casts a spell, and then you can tell that he can see you. And then Fenrith, your turn.
All right. I will cast defensively.
Hey, it's my religion, okay? Calm down. Nice.
I'm concerned
So I
with
will
magic,
cast,
not with religion.
Righteous Might on myself.
All right.
Yeah, I wonder how that's handled. Is he just lumping it all? Is it like what would it be? Secular? Is that the word? So
Yes.
it just lumps all magic into one.
I guess we'll have to ask him when we're pillaging his empire.
I look so forward to it.
Hey, so is there any separation between arcane and divine, or?
I need to be able to teach my rock how to breathe fire so I can just do a sweeping, just sweep over his whole dang city.
Anything else for your turn, Fenrith?
We got dragons to was it west?
All 5 foot,
Isn't there a flame breath spell?
because that's the one
Could you-
that
Oh,
makes
you
me
couldn't
bigger
permanent,
too,
could
though.
you?
Okay. Yeah, there is a flame breath spell.
Although you did say that you could put permanency in a ring.
Potentially, but it would be for making a spell permanent.
Yeah, I give your bird permanent dragon breath. Or
But
flame
there's
breath.
a list that you can permanent.
We could just use the gnome device and hope we get lucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
No.
Fenrith, you grow in
And luck
size,
don't
and you
go
take a
together.
step over, and you can feel like the air of these gears brushing against your back, like you're right up against that wall there. It's not touching you yet, but you've got no room back there.
Oh, it's only a 15-foot cone.
All right, so that other human, he's getting kind of far away now, but he still takes aim anyways, and he'll take a shot at you, Fenrith.
There's also a spell called Dragon Breath, though.
That doesn't seem right. What is your AC now?
Should be 34.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, yeah, so you can hear the bullet go whizzing by you, and then Rohan, back to you. So you see you're underneath this airship, and you see these winged rowboats. They start shooting past you. They move really fast.
Okay.
But it's your turn.
As they're coming out of the hold, I'll target any. We'll say I split my 4 attacks between 2 different enemies that are holding basically anything, because I don't know what is and is not a weapon with these people.
Okay. You're splitting it between
2 different enemies.
2 different enemies? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this the first one that you can that makes it out is full of humans holding those rifles.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take aim at one of them.
All right. So here, let me do this. I can put them on the map real quick. Where did it go? All right. So they'll be here. Where did you go? All right. You can target the two there near the front of the ship now. If you want.
Okay. I'll target that one first. So my first two, my multi-shot are at 24.
All right. Those are hits.
Then the next one is 5. And the last one is -10.
Okay.
Okay, so did all 4 hit?
Yeah. So you've got hit. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. Oh, you must not have targeted, but that would hit.
That's to the first guy. That's to the second guy.
Okay. So what was that? 14 and 3 and 7 and 12.
Yeah, 17 and 19. And then
Okay.
Tempest and I will go straight out from the front at full speed. So how far is that? So I can go a little bit farther than that.
Yeah. What is Tempest speed?
80. So I can go 160. So yeah, that's about right where I would have been.
Okay. All right.
And that's my turn.
Okay. So from there, you both, Casimir and Rohan, both watch those automatons on the deck. They just walk right off of the ship and fall into the ocean below.
Makes sense. Probably just going to walk the floor and...
Release the Kraken.
Or in this case, giant mechanical eel.
No, I meant we should release the Kraken on them. We have a Kraken, right?
Oh, we will if that chain keeps eating away at the
Yeah.
at that gate.
Or did Tempest accidentally eat our Kraken after the hurricane?
Oh, ate it. That one got ate.
Yeah.
In fact, she broke part of our house getting in.
Yeah. Which, thinking retroactively, if we'd had hover, she wouldn't have needed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then Rohan, the two that you had shot, they're in a boat with a dozen others. And that boat goes streaking towards the island at an obscene speed. But as it does, and you can see that too, Casimir, as it makes distance from the ship, and then another one comes out behind it, also full of people. And it's traveling at a ridiculous speed. And you can see this like shimmer coming from the back of it. And in fact, Graham and Fenrith, you see it streak over your heads as well. And but it's like wildly out of control, and you can see that they're hanging on for dear life. It's like spinning and stuff, and it looks like some stuff's falling out of it. But both of those go crashing into the forest somewhere way off into the new forest and the thick trees. So that's, you guys see that, and that brings us to Graham. Your turn, Graham.
All right. Let's, now that he can see me, we'll perform a acrobatic backstab. So I got to tumble through his space.
Hardy carry.
What's up?
Nothing.
Let's tumble through 20, I think. Let me double check. I'm a fantastic roller.
All right. So 1 second here.
No, it's 25, so now I'm going to use that hero point.
Okay.
Almost tried to go back on that 2 for me again.
All right. So that gets you up into his space without provoking an attack.
Through his space without provoking an attack.
All right. And then before you do your attack, please do a reflex save. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Sir, I'd really like it if you just closed your eyes.
So as you get up next to him, he puts his hands out. You can feel some force coming from his hands, but you bend and twist out of the way, and it washes over you and doesn't have any effect. But go ahead and do your.
Okay, so then I'm going to attack defensively, but the acrobatic backstab drops his dex for my next attack.
All right, let me...
You want me to use the flat-footed modifier?
Yep, that'll be the easiest.
Oh my god. Let's
Hero.
use another hero point. I
Okay.
cannot believe.
Just raining them hero points.
I know.
It's crazy. You still got a 20 with a 1.
Well, I don't usually attack singly.
Yeah.
You know, it's always like depleted. But let's see what happens.
That's a hit.
All right. Does he qualify for sneak attacking?
Yep.
No,
Okay.
because you're invisible and you can't see your eyes.
All right. So damage from that, sneak attack. And if he's still upright, then that qualifies for one of my abilities called a staggering strike.
Plus the gems if you got it.
Yeah. I don't think I will, though.
1 second here. You stab him, you know, you slice him so good, like his neck just opens and just blood comes pouring out. But
Do I have to reflex again?
He explodes like a Baylor.
Dang it.
no, there it is. No, you don't have to reflex, but like, you know, you open up his throat and blood just like shoots out in a jet. And clearly he's dead, but you see then a shimmer of, you know, some bright, you know, magical force washing over his body that immediately heals some of that damage. So he's not, it's some magical effect that heals him. So let me get the...
Okay, so any healing that is done would drop the staggering effect. So
Dude, I'll never forgive your brother for, I think we fought Baylor. It blew up. I had improved evasion.
yeah,
Okay.
I still died because I was supposed to take none or half.
right.
And he still killed me because he wanted us all to go to some dang place.
Oh. plot death.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, like right in, you know, you open his throat and then it closes back up, but he's clearly like still almost dead, barely able to stand. But what's the other thing you do?
Well, a staggering strike would make it so you'd only have one action. However, if you perform a DC 15 heal check or you have healing some other way, that goes away. So I assume this healing effect would heal up what staggered him.
No. Well, let me figure that out. Where is that?
So it's in the complete adventure or maybe complete scoundrel. I forget. I can post the text as I just copied it from that book over if you want.
Okay.
Sir, I'd really like it if you provoked an attack right now. How long does your acrobatic sneak attack last?
Just till my next attack.
Okay.
I have to go to bluffs from here.
I was just wondering if it was like power attack where like until my next turn I have that minus
Yeah.
type of thing.
Okay. So yeah, that wouldn't have that effect. All right. So you're right about that. Okay. And is that your turn?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So you've done extreme damage to him. He's barely able to stand. And those guys disappear. And that will bring us to Casimir. We're going to have to stop for the day.
Yeah.
Time flies. So we'll pick this up again next week.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Brennan.
Yeah, you bet.
So we need to teach the rocks how to carry fuel air bombs.
This has been a Death Watch production. Thank you for listening.